Hi Flosstube, my name is Jen and welcome to my channel, Backcountry Stitcher. You can follow me here and on Instagram, although I do have to be honest with you, I am not the greatest, I found out, about posting on Instagram. So definitely give me a follow because I do post some fun stuff every now and then, but I'm not like some people that post every single day. So I am here to talk about cross stitch. I have had kind of a weird, I guess just a weird couple of weeks, and my stitchy bug didn't go away completely, but it wasn't as active as it normally is. So I only worked on a few projects, so I think this may be sorry, Flosstube itchy nose. So I think this may be a relatively short video, but I did get some fun stuff done. I do have a finish. A couple of whips. I made some big progress on my warrior kitty project that I'm really excited to show you. And I have not a lot of haul, but I do have my very first cross stitch rescue. So I'm gonna start with that. The one thing I do want to get kind of not out of the way, but want to start with is I did a giveaway a couple of weeks ago and I have not heard at all from the person who won it. I left them a message commenting to their message. So I did reach out, but I haven't heard. So I'm going to redraw a winner. And if I don't hear from that person in the next 2 weeks, I have a plan for the gift. So it is to win Cross Stitch for the Earth by Emma Congdon, and which is this book. So I'm going to redraw, and I have everything pulled up. So I'm doing the random comment generator on the internet, and we're going to filter by the word Earth. Oh, oops, they have a math question now that you have to do. All right, so we have 37 comments, and I am going to start it. All right, so Jody Walker, you are the new winner of Cross Stitch for the Earth. So if you can message me, you can send me an email message, which is my email address is going to be in the description box below. You can also send me a direct message on Instagram, which will also be there. And I will reach out to you and reply to your comment to let you know so that we can find a good home for this book. So yeah, so it's Jody Walker. Congratulations. All right, so I'm going to start with my rescue. So I had this Mirabilia pattern that I just absolutely loved called, but it's out of print, and it's called Queen of Freedom. And I couldn't find it for a reasonable price on eBay. It pops up every now and then, but not anything I'm willing to spend on a pattern. But I did actually find a completed piece of this. So this was on eBay and it was just begging to be rescued. I have no idea who stitched this. There's no name or anything, but it is gorgeous. So this is, I'm gonna have to, I think, stand up to show this to you, but this is Queen of Freedom. And there she is. She was just begging to be rescued. I mean, how could someone stitch something so beautiful and not have someone else love it who appreciates kind of how much work went into this? But she is beautiful. Now, I'm thinking about reframing her and taking her to my LNS to find a new frame for her. I think that I don't know. I think it's a nice frame, but I think I might reframe her in the future. The other thing too is that there are a couple of, because this is obviously a used piece, there's a couple of things like this. There's a treasure here that's loose, and I think that there's some treasures missing around here. Like it looks like there's supposed to be, at least here, there's a thread. You probably can't see it, but there's a thread that looks like a treasure used to be there. So I don't know if anyone has experience with dealing with these rescues and taking them out and kind of refurbishing, that's not the right word, restoring them. So, I mean, I think I could find a matching treasure to put at these spots. The rest of the beading is in really good shape, but she is just gorgeous, and she is huge. Look at this, you guys. I mean, I'm like backed up against my built-in bookshelf here. I mean, she's from the top of my head down to like my hips. She's so pretty. My husband is like, he does not understand this, so I can't put this like out in main view of the house because he's not like a super big fan of it, but this is definitely going to go in my office. So yeah, but if anyone has any ideas or thoughts on you know, trying to restore the treasures that are on there, and maybe, you know, thoughts on reframing. It's not behind glass, which I guess, can you do Mirabilias behind glass because they have beads in them? I don't know. So anyway, so that's Queen of Freedom. Really, excuse me, really excited to have her. So as far as my stitching goes, like I said, I didn't work on that many projects. I think I only worked on 4 projects, and one of them I actually finished. So let me find something to hold up behind this, but I finished, that's not gonna work. There we go. I finished Stitchy Stash. Excuse me. So this is Stitchy Stash, and this is a Stitchrovia pattern that you can find on the Stitchrovia Etsy site. And I got it all done. So last time I had pretty much done all of the stitching. I just had to do the back stitching in the pins and needle threader and the needle holder, or the needle box. And I think it came out so cute. And I did you can see the thread there, floss, scissors. I mean, how perfect is that for someone that loves sewing? And this is gonna go to my mom. So next step for this is to actually ship this off to my mother. She's gonna fully finish it however she wants to, whether she wants to frame it or make it a pillow or whatever she wants to do. I was gonna let her just roll with it. So yeah, so that's Stitchy Stash. I just love Emma Congdon and her Stitchrovia patterns. I mean, they're so simple, but so cute. Yeah. So yeah, yay for that finish. So excited. And I know my mom's going to be excited, so I can't wait to show her that. I worked on, and I'm sorry, I didn't unzip these beforehand, so you may hear zippers. So the next one I worked on, well, not next one, this is in no order. I don't know what, I wrote down what I did, but I didn't bring it up here, so I have no idea what order I stitched these in. But the next one I did was A Year in the Woods. This is number 4, the raccoon. And the last time I had all of the flower, well, I thought I had all of the flowers done. I still had this flower to do. So I finished the flowers. And I started, let me just, sorry, this is a huge piece I've mentioned it before. I don't know what I was thinking with this piece of fabric and not cutting it, but here we are. So I finished that one flower, and then I started working on the tail. And I've got one more V section to do on the tail before I can start moving onto the raccoon's body. But I love this. I'm sorry it's wrinkled. It's been a rough week, guys. I don't know what's happened. So yeah, so it's coming out really cute. I just love these geometric patterns here in that tail. And that motif is going to show up in the body as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this is on 32 count Lugana in the color Meadows by Picture This Plus. Or no, I'm sorry. I lied. It's in the color Meadows by Bestitch Me. So sorry about that. And I really have enjoyed working on Lugana. It's just a really nice fabric to work on. It's the first even weave I've ever worked on, so I am enjoying that. Oh, I'm throwing stuff out of the bag. Probably shouldn't do that. All right. And then the next one I worked on was my Barbara Anna. This is Dreaming Miss Claus. And I worked on this a few days, like 3 or 4 days, I think. But I didn't really get a whole lot done each day. It was just really busy at work. And then, you know, there was some personal stuff that kind of came up at the end of this week that kind of threw me for a loop. So I was not stitching quite as much. But the last time I had just the trees and 2 snowmen done. Oops. Sorry, there we go. And now I am this far. So I got another snowman. I got these little houses here. And then I started working on the girl. And she is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And then that purple going over the top. It looks a little silly right now because I don't really have any of her. Well, I have some of her hair, but not really. But that purple going over the top is going to be a headband. Or is a headband. So I'm going to keep working. I really just have to start working on her. Well, I have to do her eyebrows so she doesn't look so ridiculous. And her hair. And then all the stuff that's like in her hair. So yeah. I love this. This is a lot of fun to work on. And I'm stitching this on 32 count linen, Belfast linen, in the color Lock by Picture This Plus. And I think that it's just absolutely the right color for this. So I have a lot of stitching left to go. It's not a huge piece. I mean, this is as wide as it's going. Well, I think it's going to come out like just a few more stitches out here, but it's pretty much as wide as it's going to be. And then it'll be taller, but it's not huge. It does, I think, you know, linen takes me a little bit longer to stitch on. And I have been stitching on this while I've been watching TV with my husband. So it doesn't always have my undivided attention. I'm also a little nervous. Like I'm doing all of, I'll show you. So I'm doing all of like this stuff first, and then I'm going to come back and do the stars. But these stars are all Krennic. And I've never worked with Krennic before, so I'm not sure how that's going to go, and maybe it's not the best idea to leave all the Krennic to last, but that's what makes sense in my head. When I stitch, I don't have like a standard like way that I stitch usually. I just stitch in the way that makes sense to the pattern to me. It might not make sense to you or to someone else, but it makes sense to me. So, and that's, I think, the most important. So that was Dreaming Miss Claus. And she is just beautiful. I may work on her later today. I usually work on my full coverages on the weekends, but I'm not feeling it this weekend. The next one, I'm gonna switch out Warrior Kitty, which I'll show you next, with Disintegration, which is the Dragonfly by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I love stitching on it. I think it's a beautiful piece and I love it. But for whatever reason, I'm just not feeling super stitchy this weekend. So I don't think stitching on a giant full coverage is really what I want to be doing this weekend. So I think I'm going to stick to my smaller pieces. I might start one of my kits that I showed you guys last time. But I'm not really sure. Like I said, my stitchy bug isn't gone, but it's not as like raging as it has been the last few months. So my last whip I'm going to show you is Drake Warrior Kitty by the Cross Stitch Studio. And you guys have been seeing this one for a while, so y'all should be familiar if you're returning. If you're new, tell me this isn't the cutest thing you've ever seen. All right, and I actually got decent progress and we hit a big milestone, you guys. So I hit the 50% mark. I'm actually at 52% on this. So here he is. And the light, let me just see, hang on one second, because I'm gonna try turning the light off to see if it shows it. Yeah, there we go. So this is Drake Warrior Kitty. We have 2 eyes now instead of just one. I finished the second ear and he is so, I just love this piece so much. He's so much fun to stitch. He's coming out so cute. I mean, there's some background, but not a ton of background. So you're kind of always working on the focal part of the piece, which I really like. But yeah, he's coming along really well. But yeah, I'm at like, I think I'm 52.45% is what I checked on. So, or what it was when I last checked. But yeah, I'm going to be done with this top part soon. I'm going to have to move it down the scroll frame a little bit to get the bottom part done soon. And then we can start moving into the bottom of his face and his armor, because he's a warrior kitty, which I think my my cat is taking after, because he started going into murder mode much more often these days, which is what we call it when he decides to play and attack the dog and us. I'll just be sitting there. My cat is such a jerk. I'll just be sitting there on the couch and minding my own business, and he just jumps up out of nowhere and is like just latches onto me. And he doesn't break the skin or anything. He's just playing, but it's not entertaining. See, I said in my last video, cats would murder us if they were bigger. He's living proof of that. I'll have to show him, con him into getting into this room one day so I can show you him, because he is a very handsome kitty. So that's really all I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Like I said, not a whole lot, but I didn't get a ton of haul, but I got some good stuff. So my Fiberlicious fabric of the month came in. It's a 32 count linen. And this is, I think it's Mermaid Mules. If anyone, is that what that says? Mermaid Mule. I mean, I know it says mermaid, but does that say Mermaid Mules? I think so. I mean, she is in a martini, which you don't drink mules in a martini glass. So I don't know, but I think that's what it says. And this is a really nice blue. See, I think it's better without the light. Sorry, guys. Nice teal with little hints of like this kind of sea green in it. And it's beautiful. This is kind of one of those colors that's a little bit outside my comfort zone. I'm not like, first of all, I'm not really good at pairing patterns with fabrics. Not one of my skills. But I think I have some patterns. There's actually, I still have it out. I didn't clean up from the last video, guys, but I have this Barbara Anna deer, and this is on a blue fabric, but it might look good on this. I don't know. It might be a little too tealy for it. See, I told you I'm not good at this. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you think I should go with a different fabric, definitely tell me, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that this is the right fabric for it. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe one of her dreaming. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? That could be nice. I don't know. So this is Dreaming Girl. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm curious to know. So, and then, so other haul I got is in this bag. First of all, this bag is one of my hauls. This is, so if you guys watch Ailarra, sorry, on Flosstube, she is making bags now. And this is one of her extra large bags. And I love this fabric. It's like zodiac signs. I can't remember what she calls it on her website, but it's all these zodiac signs and moons. And then the inside, well, this fabric is what's on the inside too. So, and you can kind of see it through here. Now this is one of her extra large bags, which I got because I wanted something that could hold the Q-snap that I have easily. And also for when I'm doing travel stitching, if I want to take multiple projects, because this does have a strap to use. So you can just, you know, drape it over yourself and just carry this, which I think is going to be super helpful for the retreats that I'm going on. But yeah, I think, and it's such good quality too. Yeah, Ailarra does great work. And she's got a great Flosstube. If you haven't seen her, definitely check her out. She has a lot of full coverage. And then she's got a bunch of kits and stuff going. But yeah, and then the other cool thing about this is that it actually has two compartments. So the big compartment, well, so the way I have it is the big compartment's holding my Q-snap right now. And then there's this smaller compartment in the front, which you can actually put the pattern in, is what how she kind of does it. She puts the pattern in a paper protector and then puts it in here so the vinyl doesn't get stained or anything like that. I just threw this project bag in there. So what did I throw in here? Let me tell you. So hold on one second. I totally forgot to grab the pattern to show you. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I can't believe I had all of this stuff up here and wanted to show you my haul and then totally forgot the pattern. So I got another Mirabilia. So this is Cathedral Woods Goddess, and she is beautiful. Now, why did I get this? Because I haven't even started my other Mirabilia yet, which in all fairness is because I'm still waiting on the fabric. I got this because Christina from Stitchy Symphony and I have decided to stitch this together. So she showed me this pattern and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. I love it. And she was like, we should stitch this together. I was like, done. So it's definitely a bit more complicated than my other Mirabilia pattern. So I'm a little, not hesitant, that's not the right word, nervous, I guess, about stitching this. I think it's going to take me a really long time and I'm going to have to go really slow. I did make some working copies of this and asked me how many working copies I made because I was so like worried. I made five working copies just in case. I need help, you guys. So yeah, so that's Cathedral Woods Goddess and she's got so many beads. And she's got 5 different types of beads and 3 different types of treasures in her, as well as 3 different types of krennic, which one of the krennics, it calls for 3 spools of. How am I going to go through 3 spools of I mean, I guess I will. I don't know. That's a lot of krennic, and I've never worked with it before. What am I doing? Somebody please, like, just make sure I'm okay. Gosh. So I got, I already have it in the Q-snap ready to go. This is the color Heritage by Picture This Plus. It's a 32 count Lugana. And I got this, oh, I guess this is also part of haul too. I got this cute little grime guard off of Etsy. And I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it in the description box below where I got it from. But isn't that adorable with all the woodland critters, which I think is perfect for a Cathedral Woods Goddess, right? So there's that. And then I did get all of the, in here is all of the threads, which I already put on my floss drops. Christina, I'm ready to go on this. Ready to go. And then I've got my bag of beads here. So there's 5 different types of beads, but I think that, yeah, like one of the beads, it calls for 3 boxes of, another one, it calls for 2 boxes. And then my ridiculous amount of krennic here too. So yeah, I'm excited to start this. I'm excited to start my other Mirabilia too, but we will, we'll see how all of this goes. Yeah. So I lost my Stitchy bug, not lost it, like I said, my Stitchy bug kind of took a nap, but I definitely did not lose my Stitchy bug for buying things. So whoever said that cross-stitching and collecting cross-stitching supplies are two separate hobbies was 100% correct. Because even though I'm like, kind of like, yeah, I should stitch today. I'll stitch for a little bit. I'm like, oh no, I need to buy all of the stitching stuff. I need to buy all of the patterns. I also bought, and this is kind of some exciting news, and I'll tell you why in just a second once I pull it up. So I did get the twisted band sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework, which like everyone is stitching these days. But they had a sale. So I was enabled. Jamie from Cross Stitch and Chill, a lot of this was her fault because she was like, oh, it's so much fun to do. But I've been looking at the instructions and the specialty stitches, and I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. I mean, and they're not even straight across, they're in diagonals. So I don't know if my brain's going to be able to handle that. I might be spending quite a bit of time at my LNS looking for some help. Yeah, the ladies at my LNS, which is Craft Center of Fine Stitchery here in Salt Lake, you know, they've said if I need help with any kind of specialty stitches or anything like that, they're more than willing to help me because they are just the nicest people. I guess I'll just show you all of the patterns. So the first one, because I did buy a few other patterns, this one is exciting for me because it's from Northern Expressions Needlework. And it's a lot of specialty. It's mostly specialty stitches, but it's the Canadian flag. And so why is this exciting for me? Because I just found out that I officially have proof of Canadian citizenship. So I'm going to be a dual citizen of the US and Canada. Not going to, I am now, technically. I am a citizen of Canada now, which these days is a good thing to have in your back pocket, right? So my mother was actually born in Canada, and so she is a Canadian citizen. And so my sister and I were technically Canadian citizens, but we didn't have proof of it. So we had to go through this whole application process, and we just found out. So we submitted everything back in February of 2021, and we just had it sent to us. Like mine just got sent to me this weekend. They sent it to the wrong address. So I have to get them to send it to the right address. But yeah, so I'm a Canadian citizen, which is really exciting because I'm also going to Canada next year. So that should make it easier. I'm going to Canada for Stitch North. I got a couple other patterns that I will show you. This one is it's a quick stitch from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a Ye Old Craft Room Kitten by Ciro Marchetti. And that's what it looks like. So it's a kitty and a sewing machine. Now they say it's a quick stitch, but it's still 16 by 13 inches on 25 count. And it's still 86 colors. So I don't know what Heaven and Earth Designs definition of a quick stitch is, but this is not my definition of a quick stitch. I can't imagine how big the original piece is, because the quick stitches I think are just like snippets, like they just cut out a portion of the piece. But I'm sure my mom will like this one because it's a cat on a sewing machine. And then there were a couple, because they had this flash sale, so I was like, well, I'll just buy some patterns. Why not? And these were patterns that I had been looking at for a while. This one's by Jill Clare, and it's called Thunder. And there it is. So it's this beautiful Appaloosa horse with all these different colors. And I just love that. Love that. And then the last one is that I got is by Laura. Hang on a second. Laura Prindle. Oh my gosh, I keep clicking on the wrong button, you guys. I am not doing, seriously clicking on all the wrong buttons. There we go. Yeah, this is by Laura Prindle and it's called Black Pearl. And it's a Frisian, I'm assuming, which is a breed of horse. And it only contains 45 colors. So it's not black and white, but it's a lot of black. And I really like horse patterns. I used to be a pretty avid horseback rider, especially back when I was in, elementary, middle, and high school. I was a competitive horseback rider where I grew up. And I horseback rode in college for a little bit. And then I went to vet school and I didn't really have much time. And I thought, funny story, I thought I was going to be an equine internal medicine specialist. So I thought I was going to work with horses and do internal medicine. And that was my plan. And now I am a small animal, dog and cat, dentist. How did that happen? No idea. One small decision after another led me down this path. So, and I'm not complaining. I love my job. I really love what I do. It's very rewarding. And I think my quality of life, so to speak, my work-life balance is really, I have a good work-life balance with what I do, especially now, as I've gotten more into the career and realized what's important and what's not important in life. And, I'm happy. So that's why I have some horse patterns, because I love horses. I still do. I don't horseback ride anymore. I'm hoping to get back into it at some point, but I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, so that's all my stitching stuff that I have to show you today. And if you're here just for the stitching, then thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. It just is amazing that I made so many friends and really just love meeting all of you. So if you're here for just the stitchy stuff, thank you. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time. If you're interested in a little bit extra, I thought, so a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that I collect patches from the national parks, and a few people said that they would be interested in seeing those. So I have these shadow boxes, and I collected a patch from every national park that I go to, and I put them in these shadow boxes. Now I only have 2, although I have more. I'll show those to you. I have more to put in shadow boxes. I have like 3 of these that I hold on to because they have to all be matching. So I buy them occasionally just so I have them on hand. But these ones here are all national parks. I have a couple, I'll show you in the other one, that are national monuments as well. Now you may notice there's 2 Canyonlands here. That is because Canyonlands is actually, it's a huge park, huge, especially compared to Arches, which is right next to it. Arches is very small compared to it, but Canyonlands actually has 3 districts. There's Island in the Sky, which is this patch. And then there's the Needles, which is this one right here. And then there's also the Maze, which I'll show, because I have a few patches that aren't in shadow boxes yet. I'll show you. But I do have the Maze. We did make it there. Bryce Canyon, that's also in Utah. Zion's in Utah. Capitol Reef's in Utah. What do I have there? Oh, my Yellowstone patch, Grand Teton, which the Yellowstone and Grand Teton are right next to each other. And then Grand Canyon I've been to. Which Grand Canyon's actually, I think, yeah, it's actually the only park I haven't been to with my husband. I went to Grand Canyon. I went to Grand Canyon before I met him. Yeah, funny story on that. I actually won airplane tickets, round trip airplane tickets at one of the conferences I went to, and I decided to go to Grand Canyon one year. So that's how I got there. There's that one, and then the other one I have has some fun stuff in it. So this one has a couple of things. So first, oh yeah, so there's my arches. That's also in Utah here. We went to Mesa Verde and Glacier. We spent a weekend. Beautiful there. Great Basin. Great Basin's in the middle of nowhere in Nevada. Like, I mean, the middle of nowhere. It's off of like this road that they call the loneliest highway. And Great Basin has to be one of my favorite parks. If you ever get the chance to go, I absolutely recommend it, because this park is not populated, but it's not very visited. It's one of the least visited national parks in the system. Even though it's in the continental United States, it's so remote that not many people go there. The other thing too is they have these pine trees, bristlecone pine trees, and they are actually the oldest living organisms on Earth. So cool. So they have some trees there. There's like a walk, you hike up to this area where they have like a bristlecone pine grove, and they have some trees that are 3,000, 3,500. I think there might be one that's 4,000 years old. But they're incredible, just absolutely incredible. So yeah, we went out there because we live in Utah, and it's actually not that long. I think it was like a 5-hour drive, I want to say, for us. We went out for a weekend to Great Basin, and I loved it. Now, the other thing, so I do have Craters of the Moon, which is a national monument, and then this one is for Grand Staircase Escalante, which it is huge, but we spent very little time there because I had an eye injury pretty quick into our trip after our first night, and we had to come home quickly from that one. And that's the other thing I like about these patches, is I can like look back and say, oh, I remember what happened there. Like, I remember Mesa Verde, we weren't planning on going there, but we figured it was on our way to a couple of other national parks, and we just spontaneously ended up there. Congaree, so that's in South Carolina. And for better or for worse, it reminds me of my year that I spent in South Carolina. My husband and I lived there for a year. It was a complete disaster, but which is kind of how we ended up in Utah. So everything leads to something good, I guess. But I can look at these and be like again, you know, Craters of the Moon, we weren't planning. We got there we went there on our way back from Glacier, which was super cool. So I have memories associated with each of these patches. The other thing I have here too, and I have a couple others in my drawer, these are Junior Ranger badges. So when you go to a national park, they have, for the kids, they have these Junior Ranger books, and you complete like different activities in them, and they have like puzzles to do, and you have to draw stuff and write stories or whatever. And when you complete the booklet, now if you're over a certain age, you have to complete, you know, usually all of the booklet to get your Junior Ranger badge. But when we go to these parks, I get these booklets, and I, you know, if we have time, I'll get the Junior Ranger badge. So yeah, I'm excited. So I put those in there too. And then I have a whole bunch. I'm just going to open this drawer. Yeah, well, maybe not a whole bunch. I can only find, I thought there were more, but there's 3. So here's another one, Dinosaur National Monument. That's a national monument. Acadia. That was another very memorable trip for not the best reasons. It rained quite a bit. We got caught in this like monsoon type weather when we were out for a hike. But we did get to go see kayaking and see all the little harbor seals and stuff, and all the birds. The seals were just so cute. Love them. But that was a trip. We'll just call it that. And then this one I'm very proud of, which is the Maze, which is a district in Canyonlands. And the reason I'm proud of this is, let me just describe to you how to get to this place. First of all, we had to drive like 5 or 6 hours on paved roads to get to the dirt road. And then the dirt road, it is, I want to say it was like 50 miles from where you get on the dirt road to get to the ranger station, which the ranger station isn't actually in the national park. It's in Glen Canyon National Rec area. So you drive all that way, and then so you drive 50 miles on dirt road, and then to get into the actual park, into the actual maze district, you have to have high clearance four-wheel drive. You drive down the side of a cliff on these switchbacks, which was terrifying, but my husband's a great driver, so we did it okay. And then you're down on more dirt road. It's like, I think it's like 15 miles ish, I want to say. By the end of the day, to get to the maze overlook, which is in the park and it's the overlook of the whole district, it's about 70 miles on dirt road with about 15 miles of that, 10 to 15 miles of that on high clearance four-wheel drive. But we made it. We went for my birthday last year. My husband asked me where I wanted to go, and I said, I need to get into the maze so I can get my patch. And it was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I would recommend everybody go if they can make it, if they have the ability and the means to get into the maze district. Highly, highly recommend it. So anyway, that's all I have. So I guess this is kind of a longer video, but I did spend a lot of time talking about my patches. So thank you for indulging me if you're still with me. But if you want to have any questions, comments, definitely leave those in the comments below. I love reading every one of those. And thank you so much for everyone for being here. And I hope to see you guys all next time in a couple of weeks. All right, take care. Bye.